The thing about Instagram is everyone has the same idea as me. Everyone's going live like at one time. So that's kind of what is going on. The one thing I wanted to mention that I loved about everything you're saying is I spent some time in Haiti. I went a couple years ago. And it's just cool how you and I both use our passion and our profession and to go and be able to share that. I went to Port-au-Prince to deliver hearing aids. And so in these communities, the kids, the first thing they heard was themselves singing, because that's kind of how I got them to kind of speak. So we would sing all of our songs, and even some of them that had no idea like who I was or my music, we just sang kind of like local artists that they love, and they taught me so much about music. And Haiti is one of my favorite places that I've gotten to visit because the people are just incredible, and it was such a cool experience because I went with my family. I was probably like 17, 18 at the time, and it's when I knew that I wanted to use my passion and my profession to do more than just sing to fans, or I wanted to like be able to share. And it's just really amazing when you can use something that you love so much to get in there and get involved.
I know you did that, and I was like, man, why I didn't go with her? I've been going so often to Haiti, and I agree with you. The people of Haiti, they have such a big heart.
Yeah.
And they go through so many hardships. And sometimes it's still, I'm amazed when I see them with a big smile.
I know.
Even in moments that they don't have much. And me, I began feeling so guilty the day that I don't have, I don't know, hot water in my hotel shower. And I complain. And I'm like, really? I think this has given me appreciation to really value what I have and to fight for those that don't have so much. And I love when you went there, and I know that you are super active, and for that, I love you. Thank you.
I wish we would have been like friends then, because that would have been amazing. It's, you know,
we've been friends. You didn't know.
I just didn't know.
But you are the friend of so many. Sometimes I feel like we don't need to know somebody to be connected with somebody. Obviously, yeah. I connected with you. You know, I love your music, but my daughters made me love your music even more. Like, hey, and for me, it was like, Daddy, you don't know Miley Cyrus when they were younger. So sure, I know Miley Cyrus, but you don't know her personally well, but one day. But it's funny that people like you, Miley, that's so important. You are very committed to your communities and to changing the world, is that you are connecting with people even if you don't have a possibility to shake their hands or know them. At the end of the day, we are all in the same ship. So, hey, I feel like I knew you even if I didn't. Hey, one day we're gonna cook together, and we're gonna record. Yep.
Listen, I've had some time in here to be like, you know, polishing up my skills, and I'm feeling pretty confident.
So we do cooking with my daughters every other night, and we choose a song or some, and then we put the song and we try to cook in real time. In the next week or two, we're gonna pick one of yours, and we're gonna sing at your rhythm with your voice, your music, and we'll see what recipe we do. We never know. I always try to do things that anybody can find at home or in any supermarket. Nothing fancy, but done with heart and having fun and giving thanks that we can be feeding each other and being with each other.
You mentioned a little bit about, you know, kind of when you were talking about zero waste, and that's been something that has kind of been crucial at this time, just to waste less and get more creative with less ingredients so things last longer. So that's kind of been my, you know, I love to stay creative. That's been my creative challenge in the kitchen right now, is using less, still having like really bold, and like I love spicy, and I'm country, so I want like flavor. So I'm trying to get a lot of flavor and not using too many of my ingredients at the same time. Usually I make everything taste good because I just put so much oil and fry it up so much. I'm trying not to waste my oil, so now I have to get my timing. That's why I mentioned timing. That's where I fall apart in the kitchen, is my timing. I totally get distracted on like, oh, I can make this because I have this, and then something else is burning. And this is not a time that we want to waste or really make mistakes. So it's really important, I think, for you to do that, so people like me can watch and learn from a professional, so we don't waste our ingredients trying new things, because it's fun to experiment right now with the time, but you really want to waste as little as possible to nothing, and to be able to have food last you as long as possible.
Yeah, and this is something we can all do at home, but I want everybody to be aware that we are about to get into the spring, summer season. America is going to have a bounty of produce, and many of the small farmers that usually will sell through restaurants, because almost every single restaurant in America is closed. Even some of us are open to feed the community and cover the needs. I think it's very important that we think about those farmers that they're going to have a hard time selling their product. So now we are thinking, how do we make sure that no food will go to waste, and make sure that that food reaches the people that need it the most? So, we've been talking to the government to make sure that the government in this moment support those local farmers buying their product. And then we can put that product through the food banks of America. Feeding America is doing a great job. But what happens now? They have a big increase of people that need to be fed, that they are going through hardships. My message to all the people that are listening to us now, when somebody tells me, how can I help? I think people should be on the alert on what food banks are in their community, what community kitchens are in their community, what NGOs like ours, because food banks right now, they will need extra hands to make sure that they can pack all the food that they're getting delivered, because now the increase of number of people needing food has increased. So young people especially, they should be thinking, you want to help and you don't want food waste, be a person of action. Maybe a Feeding America food bank will need your hands and the hands of your friends, doing it in a clean way, in a safe way, maintaining distance, and in the process contributing to make sure that every American in need right now will be fed. It's amazing ways that we can be doing to make sure that in the process of not having food waste, we feed America and we keep rural American farmers up and running.
And so for anyone watching right now, what's really the best? You mentioned like the safest way to donate food. Is that going to feedingamerica.com and finding a local food bank in your area?
Yeah, it's many ways. Like, listen, best way sometimes is use 10 cents, $1, anybody can donate to NGOs like ours or others. This is a good way. If you bring me, if 100 people, everybody brings me one can of food, that's not very helpful in moments like this, because it becomes very complicated to manage. That's why sometimes $1 is more effective. Why? Because in this process, we can give it to NGOs like ours, or to Feeding America network of food banks or local NGOs, and they can do a better use of that $1. Imagine that you have to go through thousands of different cans and packets. It's a nightmare. But sometimes I see people that they know is nearby people living under a bridge and they're homeless, and nobody's taking care of them, because right now it's a lot of NGOs that they are shutting down because Corona. And the people are there, and nobody maybe is feeding them, and you have extra food at home, and you pack 10 meals only, the leftovers you had, and you do a good meal that you are proud of, and you're able to deliver that to those 10 homeless. Man, you are my hero in my book. It's very little things that sometimes we can be doing to be helping. Well, by acting very local in the communities, or well, by supporting the little NGOs or the bigger food banks of America. All together, we can find a lot of little solutions to make sure that we cover all the ground that is needed to don't leave anybody hungry in a moment that is complex. This looks like a movie, Miley. This is like a science fiction movie. And every one of us is part of this movie. We can all be on the good side. Usually movies have good people and bad people. We all have the possibility to be part of the same movie and be in the good side of the movie. And this is a moment in our lives that we will remember forever, and we can come out so much stronger out of this pandemic.
I want to thank you so much for being on the show and for kind of going through these little ways and how little things equal big changes. Because I think that's what starts to feel very overwhelming. We see people like you, see World Kitchen, see Feeding America doing these big things. And the only way you can get these big changes made are by the general public making little efforts that we can contribute to everything that you're doing in such a large scale. So thank you for being on the show. I look forward to cooking with you sometime.
Let's cook together. When you get bored, call me.
We'll do it.
We cook with
I can't wait. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I look forward to when I can cook. That'll be like That'll just be serious mic drop, like cooking with Chef Andres. Okay, so now my second guest, we are so lucky to have today because we have another guest who is working on the front lines of fighting hunger, a food fighter. Nancy Kyle is the CEO of Second Harvest Food Bank of Middle Tennessee, who I'm very, very proud to support. I'm from Tennessee. Second Harvest is also part of Feeding America network of food banks. So you've heard me talk about Feeding America on the show before. So I'm really, really excited to hear directly from the staff at one of their local food banks. So I'm going to connect Nancy Kyle now. Hi.
Hey, Miley.
I'm so happy and honored to have you on Bright Minded. Thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me, and hello from Nashville.
Oh, I miss Nashville so much. My brother, pretty much everyone is there. My dad is there right now. Thank goodness for like FaceTimes and way that we can connect this way. Because my brothers and my sisters are all there, and at times like this, I wish we could all be in the same place. I want to talk about, obviously I love Nashville, and it's such a special place in my heart, but you also serve 46 counties in Tennessee, and there's 31 million nutritious meals. And we know that people are really suffering financially and are worried about basic needs like food. What have you been seeing in the Nashville community, which is not only suffering from COVID-19, but we are still recovering from that tornado? And so many people in the area depend on live events like music. So how is COVID-19 affecting Nashville specifically, kind of uniquely from anywhere else?
Wow, it's been a game changer with the tornadoes coming through on March 2nd and 3rd. Hit a number of our counties, but I think the community really thought, we can get through this together, we can rebuild, and we can make sure people have food. And then this health crisis happened with COVID, and it's impacting every single zip code, every single community that we serve. And you talked about the entertainment, hospitality community. That's what we are. People come here to hear music and to be a part of this community. And people in a matter of a day lost jobs everywhere. The numbers have escalated so significantly. And for people needing food, just with our initial numbers, we've seen at least a 50% increase in people needing food. And it was already a high number with over 350,000 people who were food insecure just in our 46 counties.
Wow. So, I call Nashville Nash Vegas because it's like, that's kind of what it is now. If you go downtown Nashville, it's even different from when I grew up. So many more people come to Nashville to visit. It's a city that's really is built on tourism and people experiencing. I love our community, and I love taking people around Nashville. I'm always so proud to say that I grew up in Nashville, Tennessee, because when you grow up in a place that becomes like a dream destination, it feels so cool to be the local one that grew up going to some of these spots that now are known as iconic country music, like whether you go to Tootsie's or all these places I grew up with my dad. It just devastates me to know that there's such a loss to a place that some of my favorite places don't exist anymore after the tornadoes. Some places in East Nashville that I love, that have been my spots, I go with my sister, they just sneak out and go to, are no longer there. So what have you seen since the tornadoes? How many people were you serving that you noticed there was an increase with the tornadoes, and then from the tornadoes to COVID, what was the increase there?
Initially with the tornado, it was pretty substantial, but it was something that we could manage because we knew the counties that it had impacted. And then with COVID, it just spread everywhere. And did you ever think that you would see Broadway totally closed up with nobody walking around downtown? All of the favorite restaurants are closed right now. The ones that can remain open are doing to go. And so what we're doing is partnering with absolutely everybody in Nashville, all these famous artists, restaurateurs, the community. I mean, everybody is stepping up in a way I've never seen. And I've lived in a lot of places across the United States. It is just from the volunteers that we still have to all the donors that we have and partners. We're really making a significant impact, and we're just going to keep doing what we need to do. We're starting home deliveries to those people that are quarantined. We're doing partnerships with restaurants to where they can help provide food to people in need. We're doing mass distributions in the community. We're working with the schools. If there's a partner out there, we're working with them. And it's been delightful that there's that many people that care about the community.
That's not just like the food and the music and the entertainment. That's not all that I love about Nashville. That's just one part of Nashville's like personality. I feel like Nashville is so strong. I have a teacher that says Nashville strong because when we need to come together, Tennessee really, really does that. People really step up and really step in. And that's a part of my like Nashville pride also. It's just people really, when they are needed, do what's right and they really get active and help where they can. And so Nashville, we've gone through a lot, and I know that everyone will rally the way that they need to, even though this is a difficult time because we're doing so many things like virtually, like you were saying, with takeout or delivery. Part of like food in Nashville is the experience, is going to these iconic places and not having that, or having Broadway empty, or a lot of things that people are doing now, like doing, you know, music or DJ sets on Instagram. There's something about going to the places in Nashville. So seeing Broadway and, you know, completely empty, it's like a, you know, it's like a New Yorker, you know, seeing Times Square right now. Like, you just really can't believe it. I've never seen that since I've grown up, for Broadway to be completely empty. How are you staying positive? And like, obviously with you being a leader, there's a lot of pressure on you to keep your staff and everyone around you really positive as well. How do you manage that?
Well, it starts with having a pretty amazing staff to start with. So I would say I've got best in class people that are working here. And because of our mission, everybody every day gets up. I don't care if they're working at home or if they're one of our drivers or in the warehouse. Everybody knows that it is what our job is to get food on the table. We do not want children, we don't want families, and we certainly don't want our seniors to go without food. There is ample food out there, and it is our job is to get it and to make sure we get it to those individuals. And, you know, for me, what keeps me going every single day are just the generosity and the kindness of every person that I run into. I mean, just yesterday, I got a letter from a lady on March the 2nd. She lost her husband. She has about 5 medications. She says they all are around $500 each, but she made a donation of $100 in honor of her husband to Second Harvest because she wanted to help the community. She didn't have $100 extra to give to Second Harvest, but she did because she cared. And when I think the chef was just talking about the food bank world, for us, for every dollar that we raise, we can provide 4 meals. So that efficiency is so important. And it is those people that have those big hearts that just keep me going and keep the team going every day.
That's amazing, because when you're doing numbers like $1 for 4 meals and someone donates that $100, that's making a really big impact. And so I think it's really important for everyone watching right now to know that number one is staying home, staying safe, keeping everyone safe and healthy, especially like you said, our seniors and you know, just immune compromised. Like if you can't donate $1, most importantly, keep everyone out of the hospitals and safe. But then as little as $1 can make such a big impact. And so just know that even that as a family, you guys all pitch in, you guys all reach in your pocket and find that penny, you can make such a difference. What encouragement would you give to families, you know, who are worried about how they're going to put food on the table?
I would like to ask that people know that we're here and that we are going to do everything in our power and with every resource that we have, from the mayor's office to the artist next door to the restaurant to everybody here in Nashville. We are going to get food on the tables for people in our community. We have got way too many people that are wanting to make this possible, and we're that resource to deliver that, and we're going to do it collectively. So I would tell them to rest assured, if they have a need, please call us at Second Harvest and let us know what their need is.
That's amazing. I've been reading that donations have been down. Can you tell us a little bit about why that is, and then how we can, all of us can support your work from our homes right now.
So I think when you hear about donations being down, a lot of that is from a food perspective. So we get a lot of food from grocery stores and manufacturers that are still trying to catch up from all of us consumers clearing their shelves off. So that has been down. Our financial donations have been up. And we are continuing to ask people for funds. Like just a day ago, we had our Big Joe pallet jack broke down and a box truck broke. And who would think they were that important? But they're critical in delivering food and getting out in the community. So we're asking additional funders to help with things like that and to give us additional money so we can buy more food to get it to our families.
Absolutely. I want to thank you so much for your time and for your service. It's been just amazing to speak with you. For anyone watching that wants to get involved, what's the best way they do so? Second Harvest online, going.com. What's the best way to get involved?
secondharvestmidtn.org will give you all the information. You can donate online, you can volunteer, you can do a food drive, you can just reach out to us and learn more about the work we do. But Miley, thank you so much for shedding light on such an important issue.
Thank you so much. I miss Tennessee, and I just want to thank you for working so hard to serve my community. It just means a lot to me. That's the place that my heart just like lives there. No matter where I am in the world, traveling, on tour, no matter what, there's always a piece of me in Tennessee. So I want to thank you for taking care of my people.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you guys again for tuning in to another episode of Bright Minded. Please remember to follow and support World Central Kitchen and Second Harvest Middle Tennessee and Feeding America. And keep sending in your hashtag highlighting heroes. I can't wait to share more with y'all tomorrow. See ya.